Welcome back to another episode of the Pop Culture Discussion. It's me, Robert, and today we are talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Phase 5 of the MCU is off to a pretty solid start, with expansive world building, exciting, large-scale epic action, and a menacingly intense new villain. This is a pretty fun and entertaining ride. Paul Rudd is super charismatic and a lot of fun. He's really embraced this character by now. He's played Ant-Man for quite a few movies now, and you can tell he is having an absolute blast in the role. He literally carries at least the first half of this film. The Quantum Realm is just as exciting as the trailers make it out to be, if not more. It's extremely lively. The CGI is incredible. The movie looks really good when it comes to building the quantum realm and showing off what it has to offer. It's extremely colorful. Not only does the scenery look amazing, but you've got some really creative and fun characters and just concepts within the quantum realm. There's some pretty dark themes and character arcs in this movie, and they do kind of clash with the sillier side of the comedy. There are some pretty silly things in this film, and they are pretty jarring because a lot of them do happen in very serious and darker scenes. So although quite a lot of the comedy does land, especially when it's coming from Paul Rudd, some of the comedy that comes from other characters falls pretty flat. I couldn't quite place what was wrong with the pacing in this movie, if it was either too fast or too slow in certain segments. I don't know, but it was all kind of a little all over the place until that final and third act where everything just seemed to come together and it knew exactly what it wanted to do. Speaking of the final and third act, that is peak Ant-Man in my opinion. It's probably the best storytelling and action we're gonna get from Ant-Man. It's definitely the best we've seen so far. Because of all the interesting concepts, they all just seem to come together and you just see this side of him that is a lot more serious than previous films. And it actually works really well. I feel that although the tone is kind of all over the place with this movie, when it comes to Scott Lang and the Ant-Man character himself, I feel Paul Rudd really perfected when to be silly, when to be serious. I was mentioning earlier that the CGI on the Quantum Realm is incredible, and it absolutely is, but there are a few scenes where the CGI isn't great. The green screen effects are a bit on and off, and there is one character in particular that just looks so ridiculously silly. Yes, they look pretty silly in the comics as well, but bringing them to screen, they look even sillier. The person that I went and watched this with was literally laughing out loud every time this character came on screen. They weren't meant to be laughing, it wasn't a joke, but they just couldn't take the look of this character seriously. I personally think it worked okay, although the CGI on him was pretty bad. I feel like his character arc, looping him back with a previous MCU movie and bringing him back for this one, I thought that was pretty creative and pretty cool. We get a fantastic new villain here with Kang. He is very intimidating, he's super intense, but at the same time, he's kind of calm and collected, and he does want to have a conversation with you before kicking your ass. And I do like that side of him. I feel like they built him up throughout the entire movie. When we got him, he absolutely wrecked and it was incredibly entertaining. But the final few scenes with him were a little anticlimactic in my opinion. I'm not sure if maybe they just ran out of ideas when it came to wrapping up that character in this movie for what is to do with him moving forward, or if this was the plan all along and it just felt a little inconsistent power levels and character plot armor-wise for me. Speaking of which, there are a few scenes where characters absolutely slam side characters and extras like they're absolutely nothing, and then they use those same powers on main characters and the main characters just shrug it off like it's nothing. And I'm like, okay, that's a power that should absolutely kill someone in one hit, yet these characters are completely fine. I don't know if that's lazy writing or if it's just convenient plot armor, but yeah, I don't know. A little inconsistent for my liking. This movie builds quite a lot on what is to come for the MCU moving forward, especially the last 5 to 10 minutes of this movie. It is all about moving forward. Let's see what's coming and let's get you hyped for this new big bad for the MCU. I think it did a pretty good job in universe building for the MCU without just shoehorning it in and being like, we need to have this here so people come back for the next one. It felt natural and it felt needed. This is a solid 8 out of 10 for me. I've given the first Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp 8 out of 10 as well. All three of these films are a lot of fun. I feel like this movie maybe slightly a little bit better than those just because it's a lot more creative when it comes to the world building and it's a lot more spectacular when it comes to the action. But in saying that, it still has its flaws. It's got a bit of a cringy tone, and when it comes to the build-up of the villain, he is cool, but is a little anticlimactic at the end. Thank you for watching my review on Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Have you seen it? Did you enjoy it? Was it better than the previous Ant-Man movies? Does it make you excited for Phase 5? Or have you tapped out on the MCU by now? I'd just like to say a huge thank you to everyone who is watching my videos. I uploaded a video last week and it has got way more views than I expected. It made me incredibly happy. I put so much effort into that video. So to just see some of that payoff was really humbling. And if you are watching my stuff and you want to support my channel, a subscribe goes a huge way for me. I am trying to build up my subscribers and they kind of go off a little bit at a time and then hold for a while. So yeah, if you'd like to show your support, I would really appreciate a subscription. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one.